Welcome to the Real Female Entrepreneurs. Today's guests are proof that reinvention has no expiration date. These two powerhouses decided that slowing down in their 50s was totally overrated and instead rewrote the rules of health and healing, blending science, strategy, and next level innovation. They're redefining the modern medicine cabinets with bold, non toxic solutions and unapologetic leadership. They're purpose led, disruptive. I love disruptive, and just getting started. Please help me welcome these amazing two dynamic women, Dr. Lisa Piper and Wendy Cohn-Osborne. They are the co founders of Code Health. Welcome, ladies. You guys are so much fun. I had fun talking to you a minute ago, and you guys are just going to bring the energy up 300%. I know that.
Thank you
for
so much.
having us.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to be here with you guys because what you've done, and most of my audience knows I'm allergic to medicine, and what you guys have just is a game changer for people totally from if they're allergic, if they're not allergic, if they don't want to take medicine for certain things. You guys have some stuff that really works. Tell us about what you actually do, what it is you have, and everything else about you guys. I'm excited.
All right. Well, we are the Code Girls. So we're happy to bring the excitement. Our company is Code Health and the brand is Code. And Code is a line of therapeutics that are a non toxic, drug free alternative to over the counter and prescription medications. We have 10 formulas, and they're the things that most people keep on hand in their medicine cabinet, which is why we call it the modern medicine cabinet. The cool thing is that they're safe for people and animals of all ages, and they're not dependent on size or weight. So it's the same one drop regardless. And we are just so excited to be able to share this with the world because most people we know don't want more medication. They, that's the bottom line. So here we are.
So if I have a headache, you have something I can take.
Yep.
We do. We have a drop for that. That's what we say.
Yep.
It's one drop at a time. And we don't have a drop for everything, but most things that people are in need of, such as a headache, we have a drop and it's called relief. And each formula has a different function. So in this case, this is our pain and inflammation formula that you would take.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to get educated on a little bit more about what you guys do, where would they tune into? What would happen if you don't mind? Where would they go?
Our website is probably the best place, www.codehealthshop.com. We have a pretty extensive website. We have a podcast ourselves. We have a blog. We have a facts, frequently asked questions page. We have research. I mean, if you are simple and want the basics, you can just go read the product descriptions. You can read testimonials, or you can go find us on YouTube and watch our videos. I mean, we have tons of information out there. On social media, it's at Code Health Shop. So we're always putting out a lot of content and reels and those kinds of things. So we try to put everything out there for everyone.
So Wendy, let's talk a little bit more about that podcast. Thank you, Dr. Lisa. So Wendy, let's talk more about that podcast and YouTube. Where can they find you guys at and listen into you guys?
So we're on all major platforms. Our podcast is called the C3 Code Conscious Conversations podcast. We have 80 episodes that we have recorded, and we really just try and find individuals that are putting out information that have to do with health, wellness, and consciousness. And it's just a really easy, simple conversation. We talk about products, we talk about life, we just talk about daily habits. And it's probably the most fun thing that Lisa and I do together. Being entrepreneurs, there is so much work that goes into the daily grind of running and owning a business, especially when you have a business that needs a lot of hand holding in terms of education, because it is so proprietary, revolutionary what we do. So when we get to be ourselves and we get to even do things like this and be guests on podcasts, this is what we look forward to the most. But the conversations that we have are, we've learned so much from everyone that joins us. And you can find it not only on Spotify or Apple, iTunes, iHeartRadio, but on our website, we actually have a jukebox. And you go on our website, there's a drop down, and you can just go into the jukebox and find whatever resonates with you. And then within that page, it also shows all of our guest appearances as well. I was just going to say the other thing is every podcast, we create a blog for that podcast. So the information that's provided is vast. And whatever subject matter that we're talking about, we really try and expand on it for our audience.
Yeah. Oh my word. That is so amazing. The blog. That is a great tip for people who do have podcasts and
Mhm.
YouTubes that are not utilizing that as more content for a search engine optimization. That is a great tip for everybody. Thank you for that. Because I slack at doing that. So thank you.
It
And I,
really is. I mean, it's just some people like to listen, some people like to read. And so it just opens up different pathways for people to learn about things. Our podcast is just, we do it virtually, but on our Code Health Shop Instagram, that's where we really hone in on specific reels. And then we get the attention of everybody. And if it's something that someone is interested in, then they just go to the actual podcast link.
all right, that is great. Now, here's another burning question we all have. How did you two meet and become business partners?
You want to tell it or do you want me to?
You tell it because my stories are long winded. So go ahead.
Dr. Lisa, you take it
She
on.
gets
All
right.
right.
You have to say,
Well, yeah,
Angel,
I'm
she
more
gets right to
direct
the
and
point.
she tells a
Yeah,
story for days. Yeah.
true.
So, aside from being a PhD in natural medicine, I have been a hairstylist for 30 years. And parallel to that, I've studied all kinds of energy healing modalities, studied consciousness, just lots of healing modalities, yoga teacher, the whole thing. And I had created an energy healing modality and I wanted to bring it to the world. And so I decided to go back for my PhD. And Wendy actually walked into my hair salon. Instantly, we became friends. And she really played an integral role in convincing me that, it's never too late to go back to school. Because by the time I was going to finish, I was going to be almost 50. And
Mhm.
so I was really hesitant. I'm like, I already have a master's. Do I really need it? Is it that important? And she's like, if you're going to regret not doing it, then just do it. And so I did. During that time was the pandemic. So it was a great time to be in school. However, I caught that virus. And that actually was the genesis of our company because my father is the neighbor to the brilliant biologist who created our molecular formulas that our code products are based on. And so he overnighted me these drops and literally they saved my life. So I was very sick, but about a year later, I went home and I asked my dad to bring me by to see Dr. McMichael. And so he could put a face with my name. I'd already thanked him for saving my life and spoke to him on the phone, but I really felt it was important that he put a face with my name. And so when I got there, I just looked at him and I said, why doesn't everybody have this? And how can I help you bring it to the world? So that's how our company got started. He connected me with his business partners and a month later I had my first call with them and the whole I don't know, half the time I was talking about Wendy because I knew she was a powerhouse of a
Mhm.
businesswoman. I knew I couldn't do this alone. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't even know if she would agree to it. I just kind of threw her in the fire and called her up later, like, when I just had this call and I think it would be great if you could be on the next call. She's like, and she knew the product worked because she had her own experience with it, but she did agree to go on that call, and here we are.
Don't you love when you have a product and you're able to use it and there is something miracle that just happens? And, usually you don't get to be the person that brings it to the world, but you
Mhm.
guys do. The story is like magnificent and it just sparks a whole new world of excitement into what you do.
Yeah, and the
Mhm.
funny part is that we met in my home-based hair salon.
True.
So, she walked in my door and we instantly became friends. Her neighbor had recommended her to come get her hair done with me, and that's how we met, and
Hmm.
And you both
You
have
know,
gorgeous hair,
as
by the way. We have to
thank
just say
you.
it before we
uh,
leave, you both have gorgeous hair. Alright, go
it's
ahead,
because of
Wendy.
her. It's because of her. But it's we can all understand this as women. And when you find a hairdresser, you become attached. It's like you're just attached to that person. And I was not living in Tampa. I was living across the state where I lived forever. And I met my now husband, and I moved from the East Coast to the West Coast of Florida. And every 5 weeks, I would go back and I would get my hair done. And if I were to be honest, every 2 weeks, as I was going back across the state for business, I was getting my nails done by the same woman that did my nails for 10 years. And my husband said, "Wendy, we live in Tampa Bay. There has to be somebody that could do your nails and your hair." I said, "I don't know, but I just don't know if I could do it." And my next door neighbor had beautiful, beautiful blonde hair. And I said, "Well, why not? Why not give it a try?" And I met Lisa. I sat in her chair, and just like she said, we became immediate friends. But I will tell you something interesting.
Mhm.
I do tell long-winded stories, so I'm gonna shorten it, but I was sitting there in the chair, and Lisa was talking about all kinds of things about consciousness and spirituality, and I had really no idea what she was talking about. No idea. And I couldn't move, and also I move a lot. I'm a mover, my hands are always moving, and I couldn't move, so she had me literally in the perfect position where I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, because if I talk, my whole body moves, and I listened, and each time that I went to visit her and she started talking about other things, I was just intrigued by all of it. And fast forward, after now doing what we do and having a company and a product that is based on energy and based on actually consciousness, everything that she was talking to me about is what I talk about now. And it's like it just came full circle. So everything always has a way of coming together. And when you find the right partner and you know that there is a bigger picture and a mission, then you're able to do anything. You can literally conquer the world. And it's not easy, but we're able to do it together. And on the hard days, we just kind of each pick each other up, when one of us isn't in the mode or in the mood or dealing with something, the other one just kind of carries the other one. And that's really what makes us so successful as to where we are today. So it's a
I've
beautiful thing.
I've seen partnerships, but your partnership I've met you both in person, I've met you separately. Wendy, I've met you separately, but I'm gonna tell you now, your partnership is just I've never seen one so tight and so cohesive because normally people are here and here. You guys are not. It's just like the ingredients that you have in your drops. it's cohesive for the
Yeah.
body and cohesive. So that spirit you guys bring from the business aspect follows through in your product as well.
Wow, that's a huge
Yeah.
compliment
Thank
to
you.
say that. It really is. So
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's go back a little bit. You've learned a lot. You guys have been in business how long so far right now?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. So we've been through other things. We already know hairdresser, we have degrees, probably marketing business, different things like that. Tell us, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self, every which you've learned? Either one of you, who wants to go first? Dr. Lisa, let you go first.
My education was all spaced out. And I think one of the things that I would tell my younger self is to just stay focused and put one foot in front of the other. Don't let anyone dim your sparkle and get it done. Because the only one that gets in your way is you.
Mm. So true. So true.
Yeah.
I have gotten in my way more than once. I can tell you that now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've gotten in my own way so many times that, just figure out what your mission is. Figure out what you really want to do if you never had to work a day in your life.
Mm.
And then do what you have to do it.
Yeah, I love that. I love the directness. Do what you gotta do to do it. It's key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wendy, what would you go back and tell your 18-year-old self?
I think for me, I would tell my younger self to don't let don't let anybody disappoint you, and don't expect other people to do it the way that you would do it, because everybody does things differently. And so if you don't expect other people to do these exceptional things, when they do what they do best, you're never going to be disappointed.
Mhm.
So I think that really, still to this minute, resonates with me, and I still work on it because it really is. I mean, that's something that I have to get past because I work and I live, and the level that I do things at are at such a high level that sometimes I get upset or disappointed if someone isn't doing what they're supposed to do. And the other thing is, I always talk about my dad. My father passed away actually when he was 56 years old. So I was 28 when he passed. He was very young. So I'm actually older than he was when he passed, which is an incredible thing to even think of, but that's a whole other podcast. But I was always, as a young child, I was always a perfectionist.
Mm.
And when I would write something, I would get upset and I would crush up the paper and I'd throw it out and I'd start again. And I loved handwriting. And if it wasn't perfect, I'd, crumple up the paper. And he would always say, Wendy, that's why there are erasers on pencils, because you can erase your mistakes. And what I
Mhm.
didn't realize is that that holds true for life also,
Mm.
that we all make mistakes. But if you take those mistakes and you learn from it, then you're going to be better off. And what's always interesting, and he always showed me something else, because I used to say to him, but when you erase it, you still see the line underneath it, with if like a number two pencil, you still see that line. He said, that's okay. You know where you were, and now you know where you have to be. And that is really what has stayed with me forever. So I'm not as hard on myself as I used to be. And I actually have taken every mistake that I've made, and I've learned from it and
Mm.
grown from it. And everything that's come from those mistakes has just been better,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
Being better, getting better, because we all make mistakes. Oh my word. Dr. Lisa, do you make mistakes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hello.
Of course.
So, talking about mistakes or thinking about things that people would say, "Oh, don't do that. That is just not gonna work." But it was a game changer in your business, and it's probably different for both of you. So, what is that one thing that you can look at me and say, "Hmm, this changed. I didn't think it was gonna work, or somebody else told me it wasn't gonna work, but it worked and made a difference." What is it? Either one of you? Dr. Lisa?
I didn't really have anybody tell me anything wasn't going to work. In the beginning of this business, I think it was more of Wendy and I becoming clear as to exactly what and how we were going to bring to the world.
Mhm.
And we had to figure it out. There, you know, we thought we were going to be a pet line when we started this company. And then when we did a little bit of testing and we found out that we could infuse or imprint saline solution with our digital information and that it would hold and that it would work for both people and animals, it was mind blowing. But it was something that nobody knew. And we thought of it, we tested it, it worked, and we're blowing everybody away by it. But we do get criticism, and there are naysayers that are like, how could it work if it's just one ingredient saline solution? So for those people, we give them a drop, we let them have their own experience, and then they can decide. Because in most of our products, not all of them, but most of them have instant gratification. There are some that do not, but are like, if you experience stress on the daily, right? Our calm, I mean, that's a formula that literally sits on my desk because I never know when all of a sudden I'm going to get that sensation of stress, and I can take one drop and it dials me in. It helps me to feel clear. It helps me to feel focused. And actually, I don't know how, because patience is not one of my strong points, but it does actually give me more patience. It's an incredible product. Um,
Mhm.
so I think that's the only kickback we get is when people don't understand it or they don't have their own experience, they question it. And then, you have the people that want to know the science, and then the people that don't care about the science. They just want something that works because they just want to decrease their stress or make their allergy go away or decrease their pain or boost their immune system or sleep better at night, or they're coming down with a cold or flu. Like, people just want a solution that's not synthetic chemicals. It doesn't have side effects. It doesn't have contraindications. That's safe
You
for everybody.
you definitely have a game changer there.
Yeah.
Okay, so your
Yeah.
product and that saline solution is the game changer,
Yeah.
100%. I love that. Thank you.
Mhm.
Wendy, do you have a different one or is it the same?
For me, it's a little bit different because before I did code, and code was my life, I had a CBD company.
Hmm,
And the CBD company that I had was very specific with a niche for medical providers, specifically orthopedic practitioners. And it was when the rage was happening, when CBD was starting to be sold everywhere. But people didn't really know the difference between CBD and hemp versus marijuana and THC. So I spent 4 years educating people about this, especially the doctors. And it was an uphill battle every single day. Without getting into it, I had an alternative also for over the counter and the prescription medication
mm,
and the opiates.
mm,
And we were in JAMA, we did very high levels of concentrated CBD, and it worked on a medicinal level without the THC. And where I'm going with it is this company essentially put me in the same situation that I did for 4 years, that I promised myself that I was not going to do it again. And this time, though, I had a different angle and I had a different take. And it was because of what I went through before, again, the lessons learned, the mistakes made, that I we were able to do it the way that we do it now. And we have two different angles that we approach it. We have people that want the research and want to know the details of it and need that to have the efficacy of it. When we first started, we had Dr. McMichael's research, 40 years of it, but we had to correlate that our energized saline solution was doing the exact same thing that his molecular formulas did and had 40 years of research and FDA clinical studies. And so it took us a year and a half to 2 years to build up all of our research to where we are. So there's the other person that has the problem and they have the experience. And that's really where I come in because I am that layman. I am that person that didn't know anything about this. And when I took a drop and I saw very specifically how it reduced my autonomic nervous system and my
Mm.
stress and even my biological age. Imagine taking one drop of something and being hooked up to a device that can show things like biological age. And with one drop, it reduces your biological age by over 10 years. At least for me, it did, because it reduced the stress that much. It was game over.
Yeah.
And so there's a saying that someone just told us, and they said, you can't have a testimonial without a test, right?
Yeah.
And so we approached it a different way. Well, we didn't have the research, but if we were going to go to conferences, let's just put drop after drop after drop under people's tongues and let them have their own experience. And we came up with the tagline, feel the drop, because that's what would happen. Someone would take a drop and we would say, okay, we'll see you in half an hour, 30 minutes, come back. They would come back to our booth. They had either an Aura ring or a Whoop or an Apple Watch. And we would say, okay, you know, you took the drop a half hour ago. Now look at your Aura
Look at
ring
your
on
data.
the app and look at your stress level, and it drops. And right then and there, most people feel something, but even if they're not feeling something, now they have the data to show it, right? So
Yeah.
people were like, people said to me, even I said to myself, Why, Wendy, why are you doing this again? Why are you putting yourself through this whole uphill battle?" But I'll tell you, Angel, we have something that is truly revolutionary. And the one thing that we just have to do is make people aware of it. And the minute that people become aware, they become curious. And the minute they become curious, and if they are open to it, they'll try it. And then when they try it and they experience it, they want it.
Yeah, what a
So
difference. I mean,
Yeah.
10 years younger? Come on, everybody. You
game
want it.
changer,
Game
game
changer.
changer.
Come on.
I,
Well, think about
it's
it from the perspective of a mother, and you have a kid that has something like ADHD and they're fidgety and they can't stay focused. No, I don't know any mother that wants to drug their kid or deal with the side effects that come with the ADHD medication.
mhm.
Mhm.
This is an alternative.
Yeah.
And you just have to figure out how much you need because it's different for everybody and some days are harder than the other. You have to be proactive with it. You have to become aware of your body and what the needs are, or that of your child, or that of your dog or your cat or your
Mhm.
bird or your horse for that matter.
Yeah, my 7-pound Yorkie probably needs anxiety medicine.
One drop. You know,
One
we
job.
actually we have a tagline. You can be a 5-pound Chihuahua, a 200-pound person, or a 1,500-pound racehorse. The same one drop works for all.
Mhm.
And that is really what kind of people just can't wrap their head around that, right?
Right.
Because we're so used to traditional medication where it is always based on what's your weight, what's your age, what's your size. And this is not like that. We really targeted exactly what the body already knows what to do. We're just gently signaling those systems in the body to go back into balance in a non toxic, drug free, safe way.
Definitely. Okay, guys, you have me sold. So you should have everybody else sold now. And let's talk about something that we want these entrepreneurs to kick to the curb, if you guys don't mind. Do you it no filter here. I want you to understand that it's a mindset thing, and you think most entrepreneurs believe that they need to stop believing. What is it?
I think when things become at a plateau, that is usually when entrepreneurs get nervous, or when things are just at a standstill, or when things don't happen the way that you want them to happen.
Mm,
And it's very scary a lot of times, because as an entrepreneur, it's your own business. A lot of times, besides putting your, sweat equity into it, you're in it in a financial
mm,
situation. And I think every time that we have hit a plateau and things didn't happen the way that we wanted them to happen, we were so disappointed at that moment. But there was a reason why it didn't happen at that moment. And so don't ever be afraid of just holding out and knowing that if you trust yourself, things will work themselves out the way that they are supposed to work themselves out.
yeah, don't rush it. Know it's gonna happen. And because so many of them thinks, "Oh, it's just gonna be so easy. I'm gonna start a
Yeah.
business." Yeah, isn't it easy, Dr. Lisa?
Oh, yeah, you have a great idea and you're like, "Everybody needs this," and you're all in, and then you get, "Well, how does it work?" I don't care how it works. How do you turn on your freaking light? How does gravity work? I don't know how these things work. Just try a drop. It's awesome. But like
That's
like
what we want to say,
that's what we want to say, right? That's the unfiltered version. So, but I agree with Wendy. There is so much to be said about the moment of pause
Mm,
when stuff gets so hectic and you're just stuck in it. I'm a meditator. I feel very, very strongly about setting time aside every morning to meditate. I have to, or else I can't show up the
Mhm,
way that anybody needs me to. I have to get my mind straight. I have to really see what my goals are for the day. What's my intention for the day? How am I going to go about it? Where am I, where am I going to end up? I want to see where I'm going to end up because then I'll know how to get there. And so I think part of that too is really having the ability to remove yourself from the mundane and really step outside and look at it from a bird's eye view. Look at the big picture and realize that all of these compounding factors in this present moment, it's just noise
mm.
because there's a bigger picture at play. And as long as you are clear enough with the right intention and you put forth your effort, then it's either going to happen or it's not. And you
mm,
can't have an attachment to that outcome because if you wanted something to happen and it didn't happen, it's like Wendy said, it didn't happen for a reason. It's because something better is going to happen. And
mm,
that's the mindset
mm,
that a leader, that a true successful entrepreneur should have is, bad days do happen where nothing seems to go your way. I just say, pour a glass of wine and get over it because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to bed. I'm going to go eat dinner. I'm done. Tomorrow's a new day. press the reset button and move on with life.
Yeah.
You can't stay stuck for long.
Yeah.
No, you can't. All
Yeah.
right. That is cute. That is cute. All right. Let's peel back the curtain with some
Okay.
sneak peeks that are happening with you guys. What can we look forward for in the future? And maybe a few months, maybe a year from now, tell us something cool.
Well, in May, we're very excited. We recorded in January of last year. We are in a documentary called Shield, and it is premiering at the Cannes Film Festival. So we are very excited about that. It is specifically about women's health optimization.
Mm.
And there are, I believe, 100 different professionals, doctors, that they go through the stages of a woman's life cycle. And within each section is each kind of generation through a woman's life, and each professional talks specifically about those times in a woman's life. So we're very excited about that. So that comes out in May. Um,
I think you guys are working on a book. Am I right?
we
Or am I
are, I was going to
jumping
let
out of
Lisa
turn?
say, we have a
Yeah.
book coming out. It's
That's
called The
awesome.
Code, and it's Water Remembers, Energy Heals, and Information Transforms. And Lisa is taking the lead on it, and we're very excited about it. We want to give them a little sneak peek about what the different chapters are.
Yeah. Each chapter is a code, and it's essentially all the codes that really get us through life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like
And
that analogy.
a little bit of health, a little bit of spirituality, a little bit of business, just a little bit about relationships. They're all codes. And it's a mindset code.
It is. Everything's coded. Oh my God. You guys just have everything just so niched down. I love it. All right. Now we're going to go total rapid fire fun here. You ready?
All
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 right.
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 Tell us something unexpected that we would go, you did what?
I don't know if we
Personally.
could share.
We were
Maybe.
dancing in the street in Boulder.
Yeah.
Nothing, guys. I
No.
can
Well,
do the
that's
tabletop
the
dance.
that's the PG version. That's the PG version. Honestly, everything that we do, especially when we get to travel, we really just have a lot of
We
fun.
just have fun.
Yeah, we just have a
Yep.
good time. We love a good shopping day. We love, good clean food. And we do love our glass of wine. We do love a good glass of wine. Oh, okay, we can tell you what we did. You want okay.
I told you
Actually,
I have been known to tabletop dance, so tell me what you did.
okay. So, okay, we'll just tell you. Now if any of these waiters or waitresses see us, they're gonna be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
So
no, you're
wherever
gonna tell her?
I am. Okay. She asked. I'm just gonna tell. So we're at dinner, and we're in Las Vegas, and the waiter said, "Are you celebrating anything special today?" And I just said, "Yes, it's our anniversary." And he said, "Really?" And I said, "Yes." And we just went with it. And from that minute on, there is not a place that we go to that we don't tell people when they ask that we're celebrating our anniversary. And every single meal, they bring over a piece of cake and it says happy anniversary. And we pretend as if we are this couple. And we were out to lunch at a pretty swanky place. We didn't even realize that the waiter came over and he sprinkled rose petals on our tabletop for our lunch, for us to have a romantic meal together. So this is what we do. We
I
tell
mean,
everybody
every
that.
day is a holiday, every day should be celebrated. If we're out and about and we're doing things together, it is special. It is.
Well, isn't that part of the
So,
code? You have to
It's
have
a
fun.
code. It
It's
is
a
a
code.
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 Yes.
It is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so that was fun. That was unexpected. I really like that. Thank you for your honesty. Okay, let's pump up some music, guys. What is some music that you guys like? You can give it to me separate, together, whatever you want.
We both like all kinds of music, really. Wendy loves to do Zumba, so she likes to dance. I like to dance also. Um, but we do have our own theme song, and it's called Healing Beyond Limits. And we love it. It was created for us by an old high school friend that I went to high school with back in the day. And he created it for us, and we actually use it as our theme song for our podcast.
Okay, we're gonna have to get the link to that. I am just so excited. That's gonna be fun.
Yes, so
And it
shout
has
out
to have a
to Todd
It was that.
Teal
It's
for that.
actually funny, right, Lisa?
Yeah.
So the day I go,
Oh,
Lisa
yeah.
in the morning. It's her time. She starts her day with meditation. For me, I pretty much start my day right as I get out of bed. But then I take a break and I love group fitness. That's my thing. So I either do Zumba or I have like a body pump class that I go to a few times a week. Anyway, I'm in a mad rush to get to one of my classes. And Lisa says to me, you have to, I sent you a song. You have to listen to it. And I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time to listen to
Like,
this song. She says,
now.
you have to listen to this song. All right. So I'm in the car. I'm not even paying attention to the song because I'm worried that I'm late for my class. And I start hearing these words, two visionaries, and then it goes on and on. And it was exactly like that commercial where they show like a husband and wife in a room, and one of them has somebody create a song for the other one, and they're just not paying attention. And all of a sudden, words of the song are starting to like, wait, we met there. We do this. They just said my name. That's how I felt at that moment. It could have been a commercial for the song. And all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, this song is about us. And it was before AI became the thing. This was done over 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago.
Mm.
And we couldn't even believe that it wasn't even a real person's voice.
Yeah,
And it
it
was
was
one
all
of
made
Lisa's
with
very
AI.
good
Mhm.
friends gave it to her as a gift. He just took all of these words and put it into a song, and we use it
And we
for
love
our
it.
we love it. We
We love
love
it.
it.
And
Yeah.
Dr. Lisa, it's a shout out to who?
Todd Teal. Yeah, he's the creator of the song, and, yeah, I met him in Mechanicville, New York.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your own song's the coolest thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
very cool.
All right. Book or books? What do you guys do? You each have a book, or what's a favorite book
Mhm.
you have?
Yeah. I mean, I love The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It's one of my favorites, but how can we deny, How to Win Friends and Influence People, or Think and Grow Rich? I mean, just all-time great books. Those are the top 3, I think, in my world.
Yeah. I She took mine. I mean, when I think of what book really influenced me, it's How to Make Friends and Influence People,
Mhm.
Dale Carnegie. And I actually recently listened to it again in audio. Back when I read the book, I mean, all we did was read, right, the
Mhm.
books. But it hit me in a very different way, and I realized I was doing a lot of things that he was recommending, and it
Mhm.
was reassuring. So I would say that's my favorite book.
Awesome. Do you guys have a words to live by or a quote?
Yeah, my quote is always, "Manage your mind and follow your heart."
Mm, definitely. Wendy?
Mine is smile and the world will smile at you.
Yes. Those are both good. Oh my god, you guys are good. You're gonna make people cry. You're so good. All right. Superpower 24 hours. What would it be? Who's
Oh,
giving it to me
I
first?
want to orb.
You want an orb?
Yeah, I
That's
want to
cute.
orb into the future so that I could see exactly what I did to get to where I got.
Mhm.
And I think that would be, I mean, I see it anyway, but because I practice seeing it in my meditations, but I would like to orb into some other lifetimes too. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
All right, Wendy?
I my superpower would be I would just like to be able to go into complete silence, honestly.
Mm,
But for the positive, not for the negative, and just really have that energy of complete stillness, and then the stillness would resonate to everyone else. So my typical energy, I have high energy. And so that energy, I think it resonates, but I actually would love to do the opposite and just completely have stillness because I think it's so important. It's one of the things that I'm really learning to do, and it's not easy.
it's not
It's a
easy. I
It's
can tell
practice.
not.
you
As a
that.
matter of fact, we were just at, um, a weekend away, and it was a mastermind with a group that we are, founding members of, called Quantum Expansion. It's
Mhm.
an amazing group, and they did a meditation, and it was about a 2.5 hour process. It was actually the first time that I went completely into this meditation. I never experienced it, and so many things came from it, and to be able to finally say that I was able to do that, that's a big deal for me. So, if I had a superpower of stillness, I'd be able to do that all the time. That would be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have that superpower, but Dr. Lisa does have that superpower, I
She
believe.
does.
She
She
does,
does.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
All
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
motivation
She
on
just takes her fingers and she puts them together and she's done. Yeah. Even when she's ready to go to sleep, we travel together, and when she is done, she's done. I've never seen anything like it. It's like she's like and she's fast, and she gets she does all her routine. It's so fast. I'm literally just starting my whole, "Okay, I got it," and she's out for the count.
Oh, yeah.
Done.
It doesn't even matter if the lights are on, I'll be
Nope.
asleep, and she wants it dark. I mean, it's best to be dark, but I could just
Yeah.
sleep anyway.
I can
Mhm.
fall asleep with lights on, but it's usually with a computer or a book
Yeah.
or something else because it's like my brain doesn't stop, but that's another subject.
Mhm.
So, motivation on demand, what would you guys say? If you needed to have motivation quick, what's that one thing you would do?
Turn on music.
Me too.
Yeah,
Dr.
I think
Lisa?
that does reset the whole that resets
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
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 Somebody told me doing a handstand. Mm.
Ah.
They said it resets your whole brain. I was
So
like,
I just
"Okay."
heard that every hour, if you are sedentary, you're supposed to get up and actually do 10 standing squats.
Uh,
And that actually resets your brain. And they show that it actually is a preventative for brain disease and even Alzheimer's. And it just resets everything. So
Squats is the best thing for your health, one of them. Am I
it
right?
is. Leg strength
Mhm.
Mhm.
actually is
Mhm.
correlated
Yeah,
to true health. Mhm.
yeah. Yeah. Alright,
Just
guys.
dance it out. Just
Yeah,
Just
dance
we
it
dance
out.
it out,
Just
shake it.
dance it out. Yeah. Shake it
I
off,
always
dance
say,
it
"Shake it
out.
off."
Mhm. Yeah.
Alright, alright, what is the best way for our audience to stay connected with you?
The best place is definitely our website, and our email, if they have any questions, is info@codehealthshop.com. Our website is codehealthshop.com. Our social handles are at Code Health Shop. On YouTube, we are Code Health. On LinkedIn, I believe we are Code Health as well. Um, it's just us. So if you send us a message, we will be the ones responding.
Wow.
And we do our very best to have the best customer service that we can have. Most of the time, you get Wendy. If Wendy's phone is offline, then you get me. And if you send an email with a product question, usually I respond, and it's us. It's just us. So yeah,
I
stay
love it.
connected.
I
We
love
have
it.
a
It sounds
Facebook community. You can great way to reach us. Code Conscious Community on Facebook. We named it after our podcast, which is Code Conscious Conversations. So yeah.
all right. What about a mic drop moment, guys? Do you mind leaving us, the audience, with something maybe we didn't talk about yet, but you really want them to know?
I think for me, the most important takeaway is that medicine is informational, and it can be made without synthetic chemicals. True healing happens when the body returns to coherence. And that's the bottom line. And that's what we do. That's our mission, to share that with the world, because medicine does not have to be toxic.
Mm, thank you.
Mhm.
Dr. Lisa and Wendy, thank you so much for being here. You are truly amazing. I loved having you here.
Thank you.
You.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Female Entrepreneurs Magazine. I hope you found inspiration, actionable tips, and a sense of connection with our incredible community of driven women. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, and share the episode with fellow entrepreneurs who are ready to elevate their game. Remember, your success is just the beginning, and we're here to support you in every step of the way. Until next time, keep shining, keep thriving, and remember, you have the power to create the business and life of your dreams. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.